at Ilhan Omar from Somalia, has an absolute allegiance, has been caught on video saying that her main allegiance is the betterment of Somalia. Not Somalian Americans, Somalia, the nation.
Did she marry her brother too?
She married her brother through committed immigration fraud, and everyone knows it. It's not like, well, this is a conspiracy theory. No, the documents have been proven. She married her brother so her brother could stay in America. That's immigration fraud. That's a felony. She needs to be arrested and removed. Yes.
She openly admitted, saying to the news and in some other reports I've seen, her bashing America and America principles, but yet she's still here.
Making $180,000 a year.
And probably more money on kickbacks.
Well, she's kicking back money to her husband, who runs a consulting firm. So she just hires her husband and pays him the $1 million a year.
What's up?
Wow. The thing is, how long ago was that interview?
Bro, that was about a year ago.
And it's just crazy where we're at. And welcome everybody to the show. This is the X-Ray Podcast, where we try to dive into many topics of social events, political. We usually try to stay away from it, but somehow we draw into it. It's just, man,
we get drawn every time. We let's talk about something else, and politics is get in.
Honestly, we're just passionate about it. As you can see, I'm a Trump supporter all the way, and I'm not a white supremacist because I'm not even white. But but here's the thing: it's crazy. If JJ Carroll a year ago sitting with Julio, with you, and it was just he was saying it, and for some reason, we knew about it, and a lot of us, and I hope our viewers, they're into being aware of what's going on. But do you know that clip? We actually played it on one of our episodes, but I'm going to share this little clip real quick of the person in question, who basically she's saying it in her language. We're not going to play the whole clip, but we're going to play where she's saying it, and just so you guys can read the subtitles, because she's going to be speaking in her native tongue. Here we go. Oh, wait. Where's the volume? You got to hear that.
Inti aniga aan Congress joogo. Ine ee Congress ka fadhiso.
This country where your
Inti aniga aan Congress joogo. Wadanka Soomaaliya biyaheeda dad kaleeta iyo badeeda dad kale ma qaadanayaan. Wadanka Mareykankana kuma taageerayo dad kaleeta in annaga ayna dhacaan.
Okay, real quick, I'm just gonna rewind it right here. Well, she's basically saying right here, the U.S. is a country where one of your daughters, myself, she's talking about her, is in Congress to represent your interest. She is talking to the people of Somalia, not the Somalians in America. She's talking to the Somalia from the country. So she's supposed to be somebody from Congress. She's the one that had she took an oath, to the Constitution and to not have any allegiance to anybody. In fact, I'm just going to share this real quick. And, I'll share it so we can all, see it. But it says right there that the oath of office for Congress is as follows. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same. That word right there. She's supposed to have only interest of the American people, of us, or in her state of Minnesota, right? Or is it Minnesota or Minneapolis? No, it's Minnesota, right? Minneapolis is a city. that I take this oblig- obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, meaning she can't avoid the things that she is promising to uphold and defend the Constitution. Okay, when you are saying that your interest is Somalia, you're conflicting. You're breaking your oath, and it's infuriating because
I know.
who voted her in. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Julio?
Man, it's being, I mean, it is like a whole way rumor. You know what I mean? It just everybody knows about it, but nobody want to talk about it. You know what I mean? And it's been going on for years. It's been known that Somalia is being in has been in the United States since 1991. They fled over here because they have the tribe wars and all that stuff. And Donald Trump is right that Somalia is not even a nation. It's like a broken nation in different factions, and it's a whole gumbo of issues over there. That's what's really going on. But
Hmm.
now we have Elon Omar taking office a few years ago. Like I believe we were talking about it last time, 2015, 17. That's when she took office, and she said it. And JJ Carroll been saying this for a long time. She looking for the betterment of her country,
Yeah.
their people, not ours. And no wonder why we get scammed billions of dollars in services they never render. They invoice everybody. They pass around money, the PPP money. Remember that in COVID?
Yep.
Now more stuff is coming up that they create fake businesses and bill thousands and thousands of dollars on invoice of services they never rendered. And now she go on news and start blaming the FBI and American people to not finding out that the scam was taking place.
I know.
She put the
What?
blame on us and not her people
Yeah,
because
and
she was
and
not there to blame her people for it, though.
and that's what's crazy, Julio, because so she's only that's her only move, Julio, because
Right.
this investigation started in 2022 under who? The Biden administration. And this whole thing is finally going to a closing under Trump, meaning that there's been people that's convicted, but the attorney general from this administration is saying, "Whoa, hold on. We
Hmm.
need to look at this before y'all, we need to." And now they're finding out, oh, snaps, and the rats are coming out. And obviously, Omar is not a dumb cookie as much as we want to say that she's dumb. She's actually pretty smart because she's avoided so much to where they can't prosecute her because she has nothing to do with it. Even though the people that there were charged, she went her venue for her wedding was there, her venue for
Hmm.
her campaign was in his businesses. So she's pretty smart. And when JJ Carroll was talking about she married her brother, uh some of us already knew, and I was telling you this off camera, but I was looking for, because snoops.org or .com, the fact checkers, they said that that's debunked, right? And check this out, the reason why it's debunked, Julio, is because there is nothing that a congressman or woman has to do to identify their family. Like, to me, this sounds so crazy. Someone that's running for service in the most powerful country like America, you're telling me that we can't know who's her siblings, who's her mom, who's her dad? Because I looked at it, nothing. It's all private. She has a bunch of siblings, but it's not it's not out there that you can look it up. And I mean, there is, if you pay $30 monthly, and you can actually investigate. But the ones that are here, which is the same name of the guy that she's married. This is why
Mhm.
people are saying she married her brother because, so coincidence that the brother is the same name of the ex-husband, but they can't determine if that's the same person because, um, and again, I think she did. I think she married her brother, and I
Yeah, I
looked it
think
up
so too.
on the last episode, Julio. Remember I asked if in Islam and Muslim could they divorce, and I found out yes, they can divorce and remarry.
Mm,
So
man,
there we
that
go.
that is insane. And Tom Holman came on to the news yesterday talking about they they're looking for a way to investigate Elon Omar because committing fraud with citizenship does not have a statute of limitations. So it could go 100 years and you still get deported. You know what I mean? It could go 50, 20, 35 years back. I would like to play a video from the George on YouTube. Shout out to George. Let me play this video real quick. And right here you have Tom Holman basically exposing Elon Omar for what is going to happen to her if they come, all the rumors come through. Let's play that video. It always takes forever on my end. So let's see if it plays, if it decided to be played. Let me see. In fact, Robert, I will send you the link. See if you can play it on your
Yeah,
side without
and
all this
everybody,
latency.
the reason why we canceled our episode last night was because there's Hula lives in a new area where they're building homes and it's constantly construction. So, every now and then they get new service in or
It's choppy.
construction, they might hit the line, the fiber optics, and then guess what? He's now without internet, and
Been
um
like 2 days without it.
yeah, and it's annoying, but that's part of construction. And but yeah, here we go. I'm going to play it right now. Let me just get it over here. So that way,
Appreciate it.
yep,
While
it's
Robert doing that, please, if you like the channel, you like the content that we provide, please don't forget to like and subscribe, share the channel. We are growing slowly, but we're growing. We're growing. We have a more viewers every time we come up live, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Go ahead, play the video, Robert.
yes, sir.
Multiple deportations coming, absolutely. We're doing a deep dive on thousands and thousands of files.
Yes, the Trump administration can file a denaturalization lawsuit at any time, even 25 to 50 years later. That's absolutely massive, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I mean by Ilhan Omar should be freaking out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, another massive development just dropped in this Ilhan Omar saga. Last week, we reported that she is currently being investigated for her role in the fraud committed in Minneapolis.
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have some amazing news. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, in the Department of Homeland Security, is now investigating Ilhan Omar. They're currently looking through thousands of documents because she committed deportable offenses. That's according to Border Czar Tom Homan. Take a listen.
The Border Czar Tom Homan joins us tonight to talk about Minnesota as well as a number of other issues. And sir, it's good to have you back on the show. Trump mentioning the Daily Mail reporting from 2020 that Ilhan Omar married her brother to get into the country. This was last week. Take a listen.
We designed all of our wheels on L6 plate steel.
Yeah, I need to get.
Sorry about
I need-
that, guys.
I need to get the
Powered without being brittle. It's not going to snap on you or anything.
top tier.
Look at their nation. Look.
Yeah, I need to get the top
I know.
tier. I will say subscription on YouTube, so I have no commercials. But anyway, George bring up always the latest news. He was always on top, like Lou Valentino and all these guys. This is something that caught me by surprise yesterday when I saw it, because now I guess they're feeling the pressure. When I say feeling the pressure, I mean the Trump uh, cabinet or Trump himself. And now they're feeling the urge of doing something because they haven't been doing nothing in the last 4 or 5 years since they discovered this alleged fraud from Elon Omar. In last administration, they wrote, they swept it under the rug and forgot about it, thinking that Donald Trump or the people on the right will not cry for this, you know, to bring it up again. And she committed that fraud almost, what I would say, 12, 13 years ago, probably more than that. And now she gonna get accused of it. I mean, that should have been done, like you were saying, with a proper investigation and background check. That should have been. In fact, she would not even be allowed to run for Congress.
It's like, Julio, how do we know that this individual doesn't have ties to a terrorist organization? If we don't know who the siblings are, who the mom and dad is,
Yeah,
um you're putting yourself in this political space as a public servant. It's one thing that you're putting yourself, like even us, anytime we're putting ourselves out here in the public sphere or
mhm,
the public universe, if we want to call it that, or I'm calling it that. But we're putting ourselves to be scrutinized
right,
and checked from who we are. And that's a decision that you have to speak with your family. Obviously I'm not going to go out there and tell you all my family. Now, if I was running for office, any type of office, mayor, and
council.
uh, council, a councilman or any public servant, I will willingly tell you this is my family. I have this, you know what I mean? Because I believe it's the right of the people to know who I am and what I scrutinize me, fact check me, look me up, find out, vet me is
Right,
it comes down to. And I mean, how do we know like right now this whole argument would be done about her being like a terrorist or for Somalia, her interest. I mean, honestly, if you vetted her, we probably would have avoided this. But
yeah. And now we're finding
again,
out, just to make matters worse, now we're finding out that she is worth over $30 million for on her net worth. But 3 years ago, she was worth $65,000. How you can make $30 million in less than 3 years? Explain that to me.
yeah, I know,
Nancy
dude.
Pelosi is a
So
perfect example, and so many others in Congress, even the left or the right.
yeah,
As
because
a
look at Chuck,
congressman, they don't
look
make
at
as much. They
Mitch
make
McConnell.
150, 180 a
Mm,
year, and
yeah,
3 years later, you
170.
worth
Yeah.
freaking $30 million.
Mm,
And then you complain about America being oppressor. So you're kind or whatever. Come on, man, give me a break. That is a stupid.
well,
I mean, they need to seize her money, revoke her citizenship, and deport her right away.
and Julio, here's the thing. So we were talking about this yesterday. Um, AOC, and again, this is all part of the squad. The whole thing and the first segment is about, in case you're just dropping in, we're talking about the squad from when they started to now and what the controversies that are happening. We labeled them as vampires because they're blood sucking leeches. They're just getting rich out of a political, whether they're doing it for intentional reasons to destroy the country. I mean, AOC is out there saying in an interview, which we'll show here in a minute, where she
Yeah.
is saying, Julio, that she goes, America's crumbling. Maybe we should let it crumble. She wants that to happen. And coming back to what I was trying to say, Julio, is that so you fact check it, and you realize, oh no, they're not making $30 million. They only make this much. Their net worth is this much, 46K or something like that. So it's debunked. But then you start investigating, and I had all this Julio yesterday, but um, uh, she basically, there's gifts, there's things that she receives. And then I went as far as like, okay, her campaign, she can't spend her money in the campaign. Like, let's say if the campaign goes through and there's like, I don't know, maybe $3 million, $12 million left, right? She cannot use that for her personal, like she can't spend that. But what she can do is donate it to these NGOs, okay? And then these NGOs will, scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of thing. And then here, okay, so then I look at, remember she took a bunch of 2 vacations and she went to another country to supposedly, uh, you know, meet with politicians from that country, so on and so on. But all paid expenses with her husband. And I'm talking about AOC because I'm sure if you follow the track, you find out that they're all going to these countries. She's having these blasts. She's on Instagram posting this stuff. And then, two, she bought a Tesla with campaign money, but it's not really on her because I mean, because you're justified to buy a car because I need to drive to take me to the airport, to do this because it's part of the campaign. My team
Mhm.
staff is using it, so it's validated, right? Yep. So when you factor in everything, there goes the $30 million on top of that, and then some of it we're forking it, FY, because she's a representative of the best country in the universe, and yeah,
Yeah,
so
because they get the salary a year, they get paid every month or every 15 days, whatever. But they get subsidized. They get per diem, transportation,
yep,
sometimes security, and they get aids. They don't have we pay for the aids, for the people
yes,
who uh take pictures, for the people who do the paperwork, for the people filing, the paralegals, and all these people that draft laws and resolutions and all that stuff. We pay for that. And sometimes you see them walking in the aisles of the Congress with three or four, sometimes five aides. And they get
and
paid, and they get paid pretty penny because they go get paid by Washington D.C. pay rate, which is probably over 90 to 120 a year per person as an aide. That's stupid. So
you
every congressman, at least they sucking up at least, I would say three-quarter of a million, three-quarter of a mil, and aids, transportation per diem, and all that crazy stuff they get paid for. That's a lot of freaking money.
It is a lot of money,
You
Julio,
know what I mean?
and
And how many representatives do we have in the United States? 200 something like
something,
that.
yeah,
And
and
senators, we have what, 50 of them? How many senators do we have? 50, right?
like
For
50, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
two for each state, dude.
two is about 100. So
Yeah,
come on, it's a lot.
but dude, now for the viewers, I'm gonna ask you something. How many times have you taken a vacation that was paid for someone else? How
Mm.
many vacations have you taken? And on top of that, how many vacations have you taken, period? I mean, we're over here struggling, and some of us can't even pay for a vacation, let alone leave to another city. And if we do it, we get backtracked with our bills and stuff. And, you get my point. I'm sure a lot of people are not living the luxury of going to travel other countries on someone else's dime, let alone everyone in the world's dime. And it just,
And
again,
what is
it's
funny about, I'm sorry. What is
go
funny
ahead.
about AOC is she is always about, oh, we have to do the right thing for the people and all that. But at the same time, she wearing the dress in the gala, tax the rich, but on the
And
same
how much
token,
did
she
it cost?
flying privately. She been driven everywhere. She don't have to do anything, but yet we have to tax the rich.
Yep.
That's the hypocrisy of the fucking left. I said it.
It is. It really is, and it's so messed up, Julio,
It is
because
messed up.
uh, it just they again rules for thee, not for them. You know,
Yeah.
not
Can
for
you
me.
play the video of where AOC is explicitly saying
Oh,
we had
yep.
to make our constituent suffer?
Yes. So while I'm pulling this up, what Julio's talking about, for all you guys that are not aware, there was a government shutdown that was probably now went on record as the longest shutdown. And here is AOC basically saying, "Screw it, we got to let the working class." Well, here I'll let you hear it for yourself. Here we go. And 3, 2, and 1.
They're learning is that Democrats are weak, and that next time we just need to hurt working people and working Americans more to get them to fold. And that
Okay, so if
Bro,
you missed it, here,
bro,
let me.
more
can you play it again?
to get them to fold.
Okay,
Americans more.
see right here, it says next time we just need to hurt working people and working Americans more. Okay, I couldn't find the original clip because a lot of it, I'm one of those that like to hear the full clip so I can get my, because it could be, skew, like you can take some of this stuff and like Julio earlier said, or I said it, I'm sorry, that these are blood sucking leeches, right? And they're gonna be like, oh my god, they can make it sound like I said all women are and I didn't even say that. If you would listen to the whole clip, then you would understand what I'm talking about. Well,
Right.
this I went and looked at it, and she's basically saying that the president, Donald Trump, she was saying that you know we need us as Democrat have more spine. If he thinks that we're gonna back down, no, we just need to next time we just need to hurt working people and working Americans more. So it's like boom, they're saying it right there. They don't really care about they don't care about you. They don't care
Right.
about us, Julio. They're really doing it just because these people they're evil, man. I'm sorry.
They
It
just
just
want they just want to stay in power. They just
yeah.
want to suck America dry, get their money, and what every communist do when they finish up sucking the country dry. What they do? What do they do? They flee the country.
Yep.
Every communist did that.
Yep.
The Castros, the freaking I would say Saddam Hussein did it. All of them. Even Hitler, even Stalin, they all did it. What they do? They flee the country because they know what happened when the population get upset. What happened? Look at the French Revolution.
Yeah.
Look, Italy with Mussolini. They get lynched.
Mm.
People get tired, and they know that point. People get tired, and they take up arms against the government. So you can push the people so far until they snap. And
And
like basically, Mussolini was a perfect example in modern history or modern century that they couldn't escape on time. He got hung by his own people.
yep, just like we were talking about Stalin killing all his supporters that got him elected. But and here's another person from the squad, and I just
Oh
want to
my
cheer
God.
up everybody. Yeah, you already
Go.
know where I'm going with this.
Start
But
with an R, Rashid Tali,
we
whatever.
were
Oh
looking
my
for
God, that
this
lady.
one. Yeah, we were looking for Anaya something. Right? Anaya what was it?
Manaya Presley.
Anyways, yeah, Presley, yeah. And I finally know who she is. So this is her supposedly, right? Now tell me, you know damn well this is LL Cool J. Earlier in the thumbnail you saw her with a wig. This is LL Cool J. I am
Oh
so
Lord.
sorry, dude. This is LL Cool J. Come on, man. Quit the cap, LL Cool J. You ain't fooling nobody. Man, I'm sorry, dude.
Man,
Uh,
that's a
th-
good one.
mm,
That's funny. That's funny. But
You
I mean,
know,
these ladies are crazy. I was like, what's wrong? Like when I was looking more information about her yesterday and part of this morning, I was like, what happened to her? I mean,
who
her
is that?
braids were
Yeah.
fine. Why she had to like go so radical and just fuck it, shave it all and put some
Mm,
total wax on her head and probably had her husband with the orbital machine just shining that bald head of hers because I mean I gotta give her this. Her head is spotless. That motherfucker is
it
smooth like
is.
a baby bottom. You know what I mean?
It
So
is.
that head is just shiny. You can throw her like cheese, like American cheese on top of her head. That motherfucker will stick to it. Guarantee.
Mm, mm.
Just slap that head and
Well,
make it gag.
oh man,
I
dude.
went far. I went far. Sorry about that.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry about that. Let me
I
like hold
I
on.
mean, dude,
Let me
she is
just
they're horrible. You know, real quick, Julio, before we change the segment, I want to
please
show
do.
you uh this clip real quick. And
Oh,
um this is where I was telling you that AOC is wanting to let America crumble and that she believes that it should crumble.
she needs
It
to go.
should
That
fall.
bitch needs
These
to
are
go.
the squad.
I'm not proud that
Yes.
she's
Here we
Puerto
go.
Rican. Fuck that. She's not.
That's what I was gonna ask you, Julio. Like, how do no, most Puerto Ricans think like her?
I absolutely well, bro. Let me tell you
You're
this.
gonna be like, "Ah."
Let me tell you this,
Uh,
Robert, and we know each other for I would say almost a year. We know each other, right?
correct. Yeah.
Let me tell you this: Puerto Ricans. There is a small segment of Puerto Rican that believe in communism. There is a small
Ooh.
segment, and she's part of it. You got hers, and you got many others in Congress that believe in basically destroying the American, as you know, the American value, the United States of America as we know it, because they hate America. Period. For some reason, they hate it. They live here, they make money, they become millionaires, but at the end of the day, they want to destroy it. For what purpose? Who knows? Only them knows about it. But there is a small portion of Puerto Ricans. I'm not saying all of it, but it's a small portion that believe in, I would say, independence and being kind of set aside from the United States and be, you know, their own country. But it's a small minority. It's not a lot of people, and I'm not proud of that at all. I mean, I actually every time I see them, it just like it kind of like it's a pain in the butt to be honest with you. I mean, every time somebody mention that, like, oh, are Puerto Ricans or Democrats or Republicans, I'm like, you know what? I would not even touch the subject. But
Well, I will say
it is
this.
not good.
I will say this, Julio. All the Puerto Ricans I've met support Donald Trump.
Oh
I
yeah.
have not
Oh yeah.
yet. I have
I mean,
yet
you
met
have
a single leftist.
98% support Trump.
Yep. And
What do you mean?
it's just crazy. But here we go. I'm gonna play this clip real quick. Let's listen to this nonsense.
You know,
Let's get dumber listening to this. Here we go.
the other way I think you can think about it is that we are, you know, perhaps we are in the downfall of the broken way. This was not built to last. Inequity, injustice is not built to last. It lasts a long time. It could last hundreds of years, but ultimately it crumbles into this, you know, a small cohort of incompetent people that create damage. And from that, something new can spring. And so maybe something is declining right now, but maybe it deserves to decline.
Whoa,
Also, you know,
dude. This is your congresswoman, dude. I'm sorry, man. If
I don't like her at all, man. The way she thinks sometimes it's just stupid.
the whole
Plain
point
stupid.
of her being in office is because she's there to make a difference for America, but basically she's just saying, you know what, we should let it fall. Let's not make a difference.
Yeah, just let
Let
it
it
fall.
fall. Yeah, dude,
And I
what
will
are you
fall with
doing?
it too because I live in the country. Like, really? You that stupid.
I can't deal with this. But
Bro, let me
Julio,
show you.
go for it.
This is how I look at the squad. Hold on,
Well, as
let me
you're
show you
pulling
this.
it up,
Yeah, I just
you know, I just think it's so she's so inconsistent because she's for free Palestine, right? And
right.
she recently voted to, because she was against Israel,
Hmm.
because she was all for free Palestine. But in the same token, she voted to arm Israel. She voted for Israel to bomb Palestine. Make
Hmm.
that make sense? Uh, I don't know, man. She's just a terrible person. I really can't stand her. Um,
Nobody does.
it's just she's so, man. She's cringy, and I don't even like to
You
use
think
that
she's
word.
cringy?
Yeah, she is. What, you're gonna show something that's really cringy? But
Yes.
I
Let me
hope
show you.
not. But okay,
This is my
okay.
face when I see the squad. That's my face. Every time I see the squad coming up on the news or Facebook or YouTube Reels, whatever I'm searching next, this is my automatic face. I'm like, bro, it is like automatic. Boom. That oh my God, I can't stand him. I can't
Mm,
stand him. It is funny though.
man. So Julio, changing to the next segment, and this is so for everyone. I want you to look at this video.
Mhm.
And what I want you to do, Julio, because Julio hasn't seen this video either. And he just knew what I was wanting to talk about, but I don't think he knows this video. And he's probably seen it. I don't know if you have or not, but I'm going to share it. And you tell me what your thoughts are. And then I'll tell you why the segment comes to where my thoughts he's part of the leave him there. He's part of our he's part of the panel. No, but anyways, he's you know, so just watch this, guys. And again, this is probably not everyone's cup of tea, and it wasn't
Mhm.
mine. It wasn't mine. Remember, I'm just letting you know right now. I was kind of on the fence with this, but then something happened, and I want to share with you guys. And then it took me to a rabbit hole that I'm sure everyone needs to hear, especially if you have kids. This is especially for you. Here we go. I'm going to play it, and just tell me what your thoughts are.
Illegal aliens in our state of Texas, how much money we're spending that we shouldn't have to spend because they're not supposed to be here. My research shows that right now the state of Texas is spending about $8 billion educating illegals in our government school system. I don't know, Washington says we have to do it, but let me tell you, it's a new day in Washington, D.C. I think it's legitimate to find out how big of an expense it really is. Doge, like I said, it's not just adding up the revenue and the expenses. And that's not even a good audit, by the way. A good forensic audit looks past that. How many illegals are in our government school system? How much is burdening Texas taxpayers? I think it's about $8 billion, and that's a chunk of cash. And that's where we're spending money we shouldn't have to spend, just as one example.
Washington has said, I think the courts have said, these children have to be alternative if you are opposed to that.
Well, first thing you got to do is find out how many there are. And it's a different day. That was the Pyler case in 1982. As you probably remember, it was a Texas case. It was a very, very narrow case, 5-4 decision. And I think it needs to be re-litigated.
But what's the alternative?
Go home. Go home.
How will you push that in the courts if there's no case?
What I'm going to do is comptroller. What I plan on doing is finding out that number. Where we're spending our money. We have to give that number to the legislature and let the legislature determine what to do about it.
You just want the number out there.
Yes. I think most people would want to know where we're spending our money. illegal aliens in our state of Texas.
Bro,
So what do you think?
man, and then we were talking about it the other day about all these illegals in schools sucking up our taxpayers' money because it is ridiculous. And I guarantee you, like, people don't have any idea. If you let in the country over 10 million people, let's say in 2 years, 5 million per year, whatever, they're going to bring their family in.
Mhm.
Some of them will start having babies,
Mhm.
you know. In 3 or 4 years, those 10 million will be around 25 million because their kids or family, everybody. You know how Hispanic people are. They bring the whole squad with them,
Mhm.
bro. Let's say a third go to school out of the 25 million or 20 million. A third. I mean, I would say 6.5 million kids go to school.
Mhm.
That is a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Every school per average spend between, I would say, between 15 and $25,000 per kid
And see,
in
Julio,
school.
yeah, Julio, you're talking about the kids that are illegal. The illegals have kids here that are born in America and they go to school. What this guy's talking about, okay, I'm only highlighting this because I want you to picture what I'm trying to say. With
Mhm.
all right, but he's talking about the kids that are not born here that
Oh,
the
they were
illegals
brought
brought.
here.
Yeah, and they're in school in our public school. Okay, those kids. They're illegal. They're already illegal. They don't have like there's 3-year-old, there's babies,
Toddler.
there's teenagers, toddlers, even teenagers that are born in Mexico and they got smuggled in when they're 8 years old, when they're babies, when they're toddlers, when they're teenagers, and they come here and they go to school and now we're paying for them. That's what he's talking about. Okay. So then when I first heard this, Julio, let me just tell you, I was like, no, that's kind of mean, like these kids need education. It's not their fault. I was going that mindset. Like maybe this is too extreme, right? I might not back this up.
Hmm.
I went to my school when I first seen this in that week. I went to pick up my daughter. She's in high school. She's a sophomore, right? And as I'm waiting for her to get into the truck, I'm seeing all the other kids, walking around. And you know how the kids are in high school. You'll see a boy there holding hands with his girlfriend and whatnot, right? And it's just everybody did that in high school. But then I see this, what looks to be a grown ass man, okay? He had a thick mustache. And to me, he looked the same age as me, holding a little girl's hand and gave her a kiss and walked her to, I guess, wherever met up so her parents could pick her up. And he was walking back, and I was like, I was on the phone with my wife, and I was like, that, yo, that can't be a kid. And I know that there's some kids that get developed. I get it, right? But this guy, bro, he looked like a man, dude. A man. So then I started thinking, let me get chat gpt, right? And I'm like, what are the requirements? Because I just watched this video in this week, Julio, this congressman, right? I watched the video and it got me asking, Julio, do you know what the requirements are for an undocumented or illegal teenager?
Mhm.
Like, let's say he's claiming he's 12. Do you know what he needs to get into school? Because if your kid doesn't have the vaccines, they don't accept her in public schools. You have to give your birth certificate, right? And your vaccination. Well, an undocumented don't have to have none of that. And it got me into this rabbit hole. And I'm going to share the chat GPT conversation because it is it is telling, dude. It's scary. And if sorry if I misspelled some words, some of you guys that can't take it, I'm gonna zoom in. But I was like, how undocumented kids go to school? Like if there is a high school student which undocumented, how can that kid go to school without a birth certificate? Because
Right.
what if they smuggled him and he ain't got no birth certificate, right? They don't got nothing, no
No
information,
social, no birth certificate, nothing.
no
No
ID in
green
their
card, no
state,
visa, nothing.
nothing. Like I'm talking about, like if they're in Mexico, they don't have an ID yet because they're kids, supposedly, right? Or they just don't have anything, right? In the US, undocumented kids can go to public schools, and the schools are legally required to enroll them. Even if the child does not have a birth certificate, social security number, or legal immigration status, here's how it works in clear terms. All right, ready? The law that protects them, a Supreme Court case in 1982, Pyler versus Doe, says public schools cannot deny a child an education based on immigration status. Sounds all cool, right? Typical stuff. You
Sounds
would,
like the
okay,
law that the guy we're talking about, the prior law.
yeah, and it doesn't sound controversial, right? And then it just says proof of age. This is where it gets really crazy, and it's really alarming. Proof of age, okay? Birth certificate is the most common but not required, okay? It's required for our kids, the American citizen kids, but not for their kids, okay? School must accept alternatives such as passport. Let's say they don't have it. Fine. Baptismal certification. Okay. Just remember this real quick. All right. We'll come back to this. Hospital records. Let's say he doesn't have that. School records from the child's home country. Let's say he doesn't have that, because when you're crossing the border, you're not bringing all these documents. You're just bringing food, clothing, and let's get over there. They're not bringing all that. A lot of them don't. And then they get them mailed later or whatever, but a lot of them don't even get all that. They don't even have
Damn,
for
that's
that.
crazy.
It gets lost or whatever. School records, okay. Parents affidavit. That's it. Their parents that are illegal can just get a lawyer and get
Anybody could do
affidavit.
that. Like their friends could do that to them.
Yes. So you're starting to see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anybody, let's just say now, hypothetically, which I start, blah, blah, blah. I read through all this mumbo jumbo. And then I start asking the next question, which here it is. I'm just going to start it with it. Now, let's say I'm going to pretend I am the evil, disgusting man in the world. Let's say I'm a 26-year-old man, right? And I am saying that I'm 15 or 14 years old. Okay. Let's say that these people that I came with are my parents, and maybe it's just a friend, or maybe it's a guy that believes in what I'm doing. Maybe they're a bunch of pedo groups. I don't know. But let's just say they say that they're my parents. They get an affidavit, and then they go to the nearest church and say this guy, and tricks the church. Well, this is my question. So I asked ChatGPT, so what prevents a grown man that looks young who is undocumented and doesn't have any form of document pretending to be a year old? Great. And that is actually something and districts do think about. Here's how they prevent the adult from pretending to be a minor. Blah, 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 blah. It basically says the same thing that goes up there. It says they'll know. They'll know. Basically, that's what it says. They'll know. Physical academic evaluations. If the kid doesn't want to play sports, he's never going to get a physical. They're never going to know. But they're saying they're going to know. Okay. So bottom line is immigration does. Okay. So then I get even more. What if they trick the church? Because it was asking for affidavit, right? What if they've tricked the church, get a letter from the church? Schools will allow this man to pretend to be a child. Short answer, no. Church letter alone is not enough to sneak a high school kid. Blah, 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 blah. And then again with the parent thing, the whole thing. And then here I'll get to the very bottom where, because I know, okay, it's how do you, because then it says, it had told me the bottom line is yes, it can happen, but it's very rare. And I said, how do you know it's rare? If no one's been caught, like what's your data that backs up your claim? That's a really good and fair question. I don't actually know of any reliable public data set or academic studies that show how many adults try to fraudulently enroll the U.S. Okay, Julio, I'm gonna leave it there because I know there's a lot to digest already. But then I said, what's the next thing? Let me Google if there's been any cases. And I'll let y'all do that homework. Google how many men and grown women, because there's a lot, have been caught pretending to be kids, undocumented. And the number is crazy. So I don't know why this is telling me that it's rare and it doesn't happen. At the end of it, in spite of it, it says you are totally right to question it. Without better data, rare is more reasonable guess than a proven fact. And I think I'm going to pull up one of those, at least one video that happened recently. And I'm telling you, Julio, what are your thoughts on that? What would you do if
Bro.
your daughter sees this man? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna leave you with this while you give your thoughts. But Julio, I went to high school with this one guy that I always questioned whether his age was really his age because the dude looked kind of old, and man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm starting to think back and I'm like, man, and that guy was like having a bunch of girlfriends and doing things with all these girls. And I'm starting to look at this red flag in my mind and I'm like questioning, what are we doing? So now when I hear this congressman, I'm in 100 support. Get these kids out of here. I'm sorry. It's just too much of a risk. But give me your thoughts while I find this clip.
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. That is something that I never, in my lifetime, ever encountered. When I was in high school in Puerto Rico, that was like very, very crazy because the immigration was not as bad back in the '90s as here in the United States. Nobody immigrated in millions or thousands to Puerto Rico from other countries, but they did travel to the United States. And to your point, what I will do if I see a grown ass man going to the same school as my daughter, I will pull my daughter out. You know what I mean? And it's a good thing for parents. Are highly encouraged to do it. It's a very good thing to go to your sons or your daughter's activities from school because you are able to see for yourself who are their peers. You're able to see what's going on around the school. The bad part is that you're right, Robert. There is no way to actually know who is legal or illegal because it's illegal to ask for immigration status. And it's bad
But
because they
why?
are rubbing us blind.
But why is it okay to deny your kid to go to school if he doesn't have the
That's
current
a good question.
vaccination?
Yep.
But they're okay because they have
And it
no
happened.
documentation.
It kind of magnifies during the COVID because I remember a lot of people were coming in and going to school and they were fine with no paperwork. But us, we were required to show vaccine proof. We were required to wear masks. We were required to do everything. But the illegals, they were untouchable.
Yeah,
They were
I don't get
untouchable.
it.
We couldn't do nothing about it. We just had to like, hey, I guess they're special or something. Because if you say something bad or if you raise your concern, they would call you racist. They would call you Islamophobic, or they call you names that I mean, like somebody said on YouTube that racist card is declined. The xenophobic card is already declined. Nobody cares anymore. So they need to and I guarantee you, if they do that in Texas, half of these schools or every school will be they will be gone. They have to start closing schools and consolidating because I guarantee you 40 to 50% of the kids are illegals. Guarantee.
And it's crazy, Julio. I'm
It is
stuttering
crazy.
because I don't know what else to do, but
Bro,
to
if you go further back or further with this rabbit hole, I would not be surprised if these people pretend to be trans to carry out their deviances.
yep. No.
You know what I mean? Even though they're not trans, but they play the system, be like, hey, I'm gonna call myself trans and start uh uh peeping on these ladies in the locker, being like peeping Tom or something like that. You know what I mean? Start like, bro, this make
This
me
is
mad because these
this is
motherfuckers and they, man, all these people play the system. I'm not saying all immigrants play the system, but the vast majority of these people that came in from 2020 and forward, they just want to play the system, man. You see all over the internet. They were giving phones, they were giving money, they were giving EBT cards, snaps, they were giving all kinds of subsidies. While the American people they have to work 80 hours a week just to just, just to make the ends meet. You know what I mean? Just to survive. But the illegal immigrants, they were giving everything. They were giving thousands of dollars on EBT cards to them. Thousands. They could not even spend it all. And they
yeah.
roll over to the next month and the next month. And I've seen videos that they have like over $30,000 on the EBT money.
Yeah, remember we played that video here.
Yeah, we put that video months back. And I'm like, bro. And I'm over here struggling to buy a steak.
Dude, I mean for real, we're struggling. But here's the deal. It happened in Ohio. Toledo. I don't know how to read it.
Toledo, yeah. Toledo,
Yeah.
Texas. Toledo, Ohio, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Ohio, yeah. A 24-year-old Venezuelan man living in Ohio was arrested after officials say that he pretended to be a 16-year-old student to attend high school.
Let me see the
According
picture of
to
that sucker.
Yeah, this guy right here. We'll play this clip here in a minute. But look, according to the letter to parents, Perrysburg School said Anthony Labrador was
Labrador, yeah.
arrested. Yeah, was arrested Monday on charges of felony forgery by the Perrysburg Police Department.
Paris.
The school said he is from Venezuela and was living in Ohio with two adult legal guardians. Again, I didn't know about this until I chat GPT'd, and then when looking at it, and it's basically my question is right there. This guy, I'm gonna play it right now. Let's watch this.
And the two people
Channel
that
13
were
news
with him accused him.
Is it ABC?
Yeah.
Make your holiday travel sparkle.
The fun part
Yeah,
is the people that were
dude, it's
living with
just-
him accused him of, hey, he's not 16, he's 24.
Yeah.
If you read again, the people that were
Here we go.
his illegal
Some-
parents, they call the school and say, hey, he's not a child.
Every equipment productivity halts. Radwell sets the standard.
News out of Perrysburg.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. It says the school said, okay. Blah, blah. Oh, yeah. It's guardians who contact the school saying they found out that he was not a minor. The school said when he enrolled, he provided an Ohio's driver license, a social security number, a temporary protective status from the U.S. Immigration Department that he had completed an application for a visa. He was, let's watch this clip real quick. Here we go.
A 24-year-old accused of posing as a high schooler in Perrysburg. Oh, this is Anthony Labrador. He's listed as Sierra on the Wood County Justice Center page. She's facing felony charges. Perrysburg School says Labrador was living with two adults enrolled last year as a 16-year-old. We're told the guardians recently contacted the school to say they received some information that he was not a child. The district says Labrador obtained an Ohio driver's license and a social security number, along with a temporary protective status from U.S. Immigration. He'd also reportedly completed a visa application. Now, 13 Action News is working to get more information about this story and what the school district is doing about the situation. We'll have updates beginning today at 4.
And I want to say that there's more, Julio. There's more out there. There's one in Minnesota. There's another one in where's this one at? Let's see. Um,
I mean, that's ridiculous. The
overly
way
blah
they
blah
play the
blah.
system, it is
Dude,
unfathomable. They don't care no more, and that's shit, man. We have, I guarantee you, we got hundreds of those cases right now happening all over United States, and nobody do nothing about it. What if what what happened to those that slipped through the cracks and made it through high school and graduated? And
exactly.
now
That's
they
what
have
that's
and
what's
they have a
bugging me,
certificate
dude.
or diploma and get a job, and they're like, oh, he got a diploma, he must be a citizen, quote unquote. Bro, it is
Dude,
crazy. I mean, I'm telling you,
that's what's bugging me, Julio. It's like, how many of those did not get caught? You know, what if
you
they
know
went
what's
to high
crazy
school when
though?
we went high school?
You know what is crazy too? They get a
Mm.
diploma. Let's say they get a diploma for some reason. They will get driver license. They probably have a fake social security or something, fake ID, and they probably join the armed forces.
Yeah. So, so
I'm
again,
just saying it might happen. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I will not take that bet. It's a slim chance that probably somebody done it and made it to the cracks and made it through.
I'm
I'm just saying.
I'm just wondering right now,
Hmm.
what are we gonna do about this, America? I mean, are we gonna when is it gonna be enough? Like, when are we gonna wake up and say, you know what, these crazy Republicans aren't crazy? Because this isn't crazy, dude. This is I mean, what this congressman was saying is now sounds like, you know what? Yeah, let's pull this number. Yeah, let's look it through it financially, but I'm looking at now protecting my children. And this is why I also support Alex Rosen. And I'm sure Alex Rosen probably is aware of all this, because remember, I looked back into the interview that we had with him, and
Mhm.
yeah, this is out there, guys. This is, I mean, think about this. And I've seen this through someone mentioned it online, but every time they catch a pedo, they have terabytes of clips. Terabytes. You know how many videos that must take? Do you know how much that would have to, like, that is a lot of videos, dude. So it's like, this is a problem that's getting out of hand, and we're just looking the other way because it's uncomfortable, you know?
That's true.
So
Yeah, and that stuff needs to be addressed, not tomorrow. And that's one point that I want to bring before we close is the people are very unhappy with the things that it's not going at the speed that people are pretending or expecting to the stuff to happen. For example, give you a quick example. You seen the right, all the Republicans making accusations or talking about all the left these days. Oh, we caught them, stealing. We caught them in this scheme, or we caught them this or doing this and that. But at the end of the day, nothing has been done. And the end of the day is only point fingers, speak loudly, come up on news, on TVs, or podcasts, or whatever, but nothing has been done. And like I said the last time, I give it to the left. At least they went to court and tried to put Donald Trump back, in jail. But the right has not done that. They not have reached that point. When do you see a group of right-leaning politicians taking taking somebody from the left to court? When that happened?
yeah.
When did that happen? But you see the left actively trying to put Donald Trump and the people
Jail. Yeah.
in jail, and they succeed. They put Steve Bannon in jail. They almost put Rudy Giuliani in jail, but at least
Which
they haven't. They have them sued, but the right have not done it. We just point fingers. Oh, we caught them stealing 30 millions. We caught them stealing 240. They got caught in this scheme, but yet no formal accusations. No, they have not taken nobody to court. They just they speak. They just talk. Nothing happened, and people are getting fed up. No wonder why people are so discouraged, and this is what is going to hurt the right, the Republicans in the midterm.
But see, this is why I think it's a ploy from the left that they're somehow these rhinos that are embedded in our movement and is dividing us into a point where we are gonna might lose the midterm, all because we're not going at Trump speed no more. Because, like I said, we were going Trump speed at first, but again, I come back to the same thing. Look what Elon said. And after that, it just, I mean, Doge is on a standstill. I mean, let's call it what it is. They're finding stuff still, yeah, but it's not headway like, oh my God. And, you might say, well, maybe they found it all. No, we didn't find it all. No, we didn't. We did not find it all. If we did, then there would be people in jail. Right now, he even said it. We're not going to push too much into corruption no more. So again, they found something that spooked everybody, and Donald Trump is just working with the best way he can do. And at this point, he's probably looking at it. I already did enough. I actually did a lot. I've already kept my promise 80% with the with one beautiful bill he already did. So if I was him, like, hey, I'm not gonna lose my life out of this. I already got shot at, and I'm not gonna make someone else take, risk their life. And
Yeah,
he's
he's
just doing
probably
the best.
cruising. He's probably in
Yeah, he's
cruise speed
cruising.
right now. Yeah, he's cruising to the end. I mean, he's 80 now. He's about to be 80
Yeah,
in the
and
next
and
couple of weeks, whatever.
and he's already done headline moves that is like
Yeah,
beyond.
I mean,
He's in
I'll give him
history.
that. In the first 6 months, he's had done more than any president have done in the first 3 years of service. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Donald Trump is already cruising. He's already seeing the finish line. He's like, man, I'm gonna stroll these next 3 years. I'm gonna do little things here and there, but he would not go to as fast as war speed. You know what I mean? He would like slow down. And
and
and,
and
and I've seen it already. That's why he's not mentioning the winning no more. Are you tired of winning? He used it for the first 3 or 4 months, and then he stopped using it.
yeah, facts.
He stopped using it.
We just
But
we just we just need to stop being like freaking Democrats and always depending on someone to do this. Let's just, you know what? Donald Trump's already completed what he said he was going to do. Now let's
mhm,
just work together and elect the correct people. Come out and elect for them. Don't be complacent. Don't just be like Donald Trump was already elected. Let's see what's going on. Come on, Donald Trump. That's a Democrat mindset. Let you know. Come on. Give me what you get. No, 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 no. He's already done a lot of stuff. He's just the president. What matters is if you didn't even go vote for your local elections this election around, you're the problem. You need to pay attention, vote for what is right. Here in Texas, we went and voted for our propositions, and we got, at least I got what I voted. Everything I voted went through. But you have to be in all these local elections, get involved, elect people like Valentina Gomez, Nick Tran, these real Americans that are really trying to make a difference, and not just work with Donald Trump, but work past Donald Trump, because
right.
our future is what matters. So with
Yeah,
that,
you're
that's
right.
my
That's a
final
good point.
thoughts. You know, mega who were mega Republicans, and now they're like, well, Donald Trump is this part of. You know what? Stop being a Democrat. You're acting like a Democrat. let's just move past forward and elect the people now. The work that needs to be done is up to us, not to Donald Trump. He's just
Yeah,
the guy now,
yeah. Donald Trump will be out the door in the next 3 years, and
Yep.
What happened after that? What will happen after that? Like you're right, we have to vote now, and we have to vote and stand behind. I mean, he already set up the path. Only
Yep.
we have to do is
That's
finish
it.
the race. I
Yep.
mean, I mean, he already started. We have to finish the race. All right, guys. Thank you for being in today's show. I really appreciate it, Robert. Thank you so much for being here today. I know we not be on tomorrow, but we might be on Friday. 'Cause tomorrow you get to do. I had to do an concert with my daughter. You probably have to do it too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a concert to go tomorrow. So I see you guys on Friday at around probably later. Do you want to do at 7:30 or 8 on Friday?
Yeah, 7:30 works for me. Like
Yeah,
every,
7:30. So I'll see you guys on 7:30 Friday, the 12th. Damn, this guy. Man, it's already half of the month already.
I know it is.
Oh
It
man.
really is.
All right. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you like this channel, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Also, visit our page, the xraypodcast.com. Buy our merch. Let me see if you can pull up. Can you pull up the website, Robert, real quick?
Yes, I can, guys. And like again, we
I have
we
to
really
update it. I have to do
appreciate
new shirt.
we really appreciate you guys and X that are watching us, you guys on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks so much for following us. Look, we're still getting our bearings together, and I know I've been saying this every video, but it our website's here, X-ray xraypodcast.com, not the X-ray, just xraypodcast.com. You can go scroll down by some merch. You click in one of these pictures right here, and you'll see videos that we had with Alex Rosen, JJ Carroll, Lou Valentino, Nick Tran, Kawe Malay, right? Kawa Malay, which, dude, we need to bring him back because I would love to share how site got me to, like, he basically red pilled me, bro, or black pilled, right? I guess is what it's called. But yeah, dude, yeah, he was right. You click on episodes. Here's some episodes. Early stage when I didn't see him. Here goes Alex, bro. Tran, this right here. Oh my god, dude. This is a video that you must see. See the boys in action, reliving their military days. And then here goes JJ Carroll. And of course, the about, you can read what we're about, contact us. You fill this out on subject, put attention, and I will reach out to you. If you want to join the be part of the panel one day, and just, even if you're a leftist, if you disagree with me and you just want to say, I want to tell Robert to go, whatever, whatever insult, and or Julio, and it's fine. Come up here, let's have some
Don't insult
content
me. I'm
together.
gonna find you.
Let's I mean, what I'm saying is, it's good to have a little bit of different, it's not just for entertainment, but it's good to hear. Maybe you might say something that might change my mind. Maybe it won't be, but I'm pretty secure in my foundation. But again, I'm not trying to. But anyways, yeah, contact us, whatever. Here goes again. The contact which will bring you to this page that is the same thing, because again, we want engage with us. And here's all our social media: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and X. And shout out to everybody. Thank you guys. We're we wouldn't be here without you guys. And just give a follow, a like, subscribe. I for sure, we're trying to keep a schedule where we're on every days, but for sure Tuesdays and Thursdays. Obviously tomorrow is going to be Thursday and we're not going to be able to do it, but we're trying to stay from 7:30. And Mondays we would like to bring special guests for you, and we're working behind the scenes. Julio's got some news for next time, not right now, right? It's too early in the game. But thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And please, I'll say it again, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, follow us on every social media. Will be linked in the description down below. We are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, X, even Spotify, which is I had to update. I had to update Spotify, but we're there too. You can find us on Amazon Music and also in iTunes for those Apple users. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.